These are the times we will all remember. Were you there? What did you do? So what do you say? Can you clean this place up? Huh?
You're gone. You are gone. So what does this feel like when you grew up wanting to marry Tom Cruise, and now you're standing here holding his hand on in front of millions of people?
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Hey fanatics, you might want to abandon being a Top Gun after watching this. We're going to take you back to 2012, when Katie Holmes finally escaped the shackles of her toxic marriage to Tom Cruise and his insane involvement with the Church of Scientology. Now, escaping from Scientology is no cakewalk, and it becomes even more complex when you have a young child to consider. In Katie's case, her daughter Suri, who was just 5 years old at the time. So the question is, how did she escape? And the answer lies in one simple name: Adam Sandler. Stay tuned, because we're about to reveal just how he became her savior, and smash that subscribe button to stay in the loop with all the latest celebrity gossip. Now, Tom Cruise was a significant figure in the church, which made the whole situation even more challenging for Katie. Leaving Scientology meant more than just changing a belief. It was a whole life upheaval, and to be fair, it was starting to look like she might be trapped indefinitely. But just as things were getting worse day by day, unexpectedly, an opportunity came along that allowed her to plan their escape. Adam Sandler appeared as a lifeline for Katie and her daughter. Here's what happened. In 2011, when Katie wasn't exactly at the peak of her career, she got offered a role in Adam Sandler's movie Jack and Jill. Little did she know that this seemingly ordinary career move would turn out to be her golden ticket to freedom from Scientology and her toxic marriage. It would give her the much-needed opportunity to plan her escape without raising any suspicion at home. Back then, Katie avoided going to award shows or taking any new roles, and even though she never openly talked about the reason, it was pretty clear what was going on. Tom's involvement with Scientology was slowly consuming her, and he was gaining more and more influence over her life. If she wanted to break free from this situation, she needed to act swiftly, but there was a catch. She had to carefully plan everything in secret, which was quite challenging. It was likely that if she even hinted at leaving, he would put a stop to it and tighten his control over her even further. Her chance for escape was limited and demanded careful planning. Living with Tom made it even more complicated, especially since she needed to consult with lawyers and have discreet meetings. By this point, Tom was growing suspicious of her activities. What she really needed was a chance to spend some time away from home so she could carefully plan her escape without Tom having a clue. Then, an opportunity came her way to play a small role in Adam Sandler's movie, Jack and Jill. It wasn't a huge role, just a few lines, but one thing everyone knows about Adam Sandler movies is that they pay really well. These films tend to be cheaper to make than their earnings, so the actors get hefty paychecks. This might be why Tom allowed her to take on this role, even though he already had a tight grip on her career choices, rarely letting her do anything. From this point on, it's all speculative, and no one openly discussed these matters, given the potential danger it posed to Katie even now. However, we can guess that Tom allowed Katie to accept the role in Jack and Jill because of the substantial paycheck. Not that he lacked money himself, but who minds a little extra cash? In a way, this role she initially wasn't thrilled about turned out to be the opportunity she needed. She spent a couple weeks on set, away from Tom in Scientology, which gave her more time to meticulously plan her escape. During this time, she had a lot on her plate. She needed to secure a place to stay for herself and Suri, ensure her safety so that Tom couldn't easily track her down, find a skilled lawyer, and make sure she'd get full custody when it came to settling the divorce legally. All of these tasks were too risky to handle at home, where Tom could find out. Being on set of Jack and Jill provided her with a secure haven. Fortunately, she didn't have to spend all of her time working on the movie, which allowed her the freedom to attend to these crucial matters. Her role in the movie was quite simple, just a few straightforward scenes. Interestingly, there might have been lawyers on set due to the heavy product placement in the film. Typically, you wouldn't find a divorce lawyer on a movie set. But Adam Sandler could have intentionally hired one discreetly, but neither he nor Katie has confirmed whether this was part of a deliberate plan. In fact, it's not even certain that such a plan took place at all. However, looking at the timing, it does seem to make sense. The movie was filmed in 2011, and just a few months later, Katie executed her plan to leave Tom for good. Planning all this on her own while living under the same roof as Tom would have been incredibly challenging. We can only speculate whether Adam intentionally set up the whole situation or if he simply offered her the role for some other reason. Perhaps he had a personal motive or simply wanted to work with her. However, it's worth noting that Adam Sandler is known for making lighthearted and often silly movies with his friends. His films are typically not considered highbrow and don't always receive favorable reviews from critics. Him and his friends are known to just make movies for the sake of having a great time on the set together, just hanging out and stuff. But the interesting thing is, Katie Holmes wasn't exactly considered one of Adam's close pals back then. They weren't really associated with each other in any way. It's not like Adam didn't have other close friends who could have played his movie wife. He had strong friendships with both Jennifer Aniston and Drew Barrymore, both whom had appeared in Adam's movies several times, both before and after the situation with Katie Holmes unfolded. To be fair, Adam did occasionally cast actors from outside his immediate circle of friends, but there still doesn't seem to be an obvious reason why he chose Katie for Jack and Jill. Of course, it's entirely possible that it was all just a massive coincidence, but it does seem more likely that he cast her for a specific reason. Perhaps it was to help her escape the very difficult situation she was in, especially since Adam was one of the very few people who could have potentially facilitated something like this for her. Not to mention, he's an extremely nice man and has a reputation for helping people. Anyway, it's possible that Tom Cruise allowed Katie to take the role in Adam Sandler's movie because Adam's movies are well known and pay well, although, as we already mentioned, Tom wasn't usually okay with Katie working in movies at the time, and this was definitely an exception. Now, about Adam helping Katie, we can't say for sure if this was all planned or just a coincidence, but it feels nice to think that the reason behind Adam hiring Katie for the role was to help her. And if we're being real, it does seem extremely fitting given the timeline. What do you think? Do you believe Adam hired Katie on purpose to help her? Or do you think it was just a lucky coincidence? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more content like this. See you in the next one.